Blessings, divine reflections. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Idalis, also known as Goddess Divine, and I created this channel to help you along your spiritual journey and to help uplift cosmic consciousness and awareness. So if you are interested in joining the journey, then please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, and like this video if you like it. Share with a friend. Today we are talking about ancient symbols and their meanings. How exciting, how cool. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Did that rhyme? Yeah, let's hop right into it. Okay, so the first symbol that we're going to be talking about today is the Om symbol. Yes, we've all seen it. We know what Om looks like, but few know that the symbol actually has a deeper meaning other than it represents the sound Om. So the Om, or Aum, or Omkara, is actually based in Hindu philosophy and is found in ancient Hindu texts such as the Upanishads and is supposed to be the sound of the universe. So this symbol represents the first sound. It is said that in the beginning there was only sound, and this one sound reverberated and created all that is. So the diamond that rests on top of the Om is actually meant to represent the highest state of being, oneness consciousness. Underneath that diamond is Maya, or the illusion, the 3D world, and it is what blocks us from experiencing this oneness consciousness. The upper part of that kind of 3 shape is the waking state, the bottom half is the unconscious state, and the swoop next to it represents the dream state. Altogether, this symbol is kind of like a perfect, harmonious state of being. It can be seen as a representation of the self and also of divine consciousness, as a whole, the cosmos. We can transcend the illusion, the 3D, and recognize that there is more to existence and a higher power. But we came into these physical bodies because we had a divine purpose and mission, and that is to experience the 3D. God came into these different incarnations, right? And these different avatars and create creatures to experience itself. And through that experience of itself, we come into greater understanding of who we are. We come into oneness. So that is what I had to say about Om. Om. Yes. All right, the next symbol that we're going to be getting into is the pentagram, which you can see here to your right. The pentagram dates back actually to Mesopotamia, ancient Greece, and even Hebrew scripture. The pentagram is said to represent the 5 letters that spelled Jerusalem, which rested outside its city's walls. Jerusalem being considered the most holy city in the world, right? The place of Christ's serving as the setting for Christ's crucifixion. And in early Christianity, the pentagram was also used to symbolize the 5 wounds of Christ that were created during his crucifixion, including, I believe, an arrow to his side or slash to his side. And the Church of Latter-day Saints also continues to decorate its churches with this symbol. Obviously, modern pagans utilize this symbol in their rites, in their spell work, at their altars, and is pretty much like the modern day symbol for neo-paganism, and represents the 5 elements: fire, earth, air, water, and at the tip of the star represents spirit. In Chinese medicine, these symbols are fire, earth, water, wood, and metal. And generally, this symbol is a representation of a kind of perfection, as well as magic and the spirit realms, worlds beyond our understanding. I feel so spooky. It's kind of cool. Okay, now the pentagram that is encompassed by a circle is a symbol of protection, and the pentagram that is turned upside down is representative of the devil, of opposing forces, of temptation, and black magic. It is typically used for selfish or negative intent and has been adopted by the Church of Satan as its official symbol. Now, the upside down pentacle can also represent the goat, the two kind of points of the star being the goat's horns. However, the goat itself is not inherently evil. It has ties to the pagan god Pan, who was a symbol of nature and was a friend to forest nymphs, and also Baphomet, who was a symbol, I believe, in the Church of Solomon. He was a symbol of duality, of both the light and the dark, and universal poles coming into perfect harmony. So I just wanted to give you some perspective. This symbolism is very polarizing and does represent kind of a very intense energy, right? But there is always good in the dark, and there is always dark in the good. I wasn't going to do the yin yang because it is so obvious and self-explanatory, but the yin yang is a Chinese symbol, is a perfect, example of this. And as you can see, there is darkness in the light and light in the dark, and it's a symbol of that balance in the cosmos and that divine unity. So yeah, I think there's great lessons to be learned from all realms of experience. I'm not telling anyone what to practice, what to believe. I am simply relaying the information. Don't shoot the messenger, please. Don't burn the witch. All right, the next symbol that we're going to get into is the Ankh, which is an Egyptian symbol symbolizing the breath of life, or the key of life. Now, the Ankh is actually a tool of massive sonic resonance, similar to the symbol. Phonetically, the symbol can be broken down into these Egyptian sounds that reverberate at specific frequencies. This symbol is often seen wielded by Egyptian gods, most commonly Osiris, Isis, and Ra. Now, Osiris was the god of the underworld. He ruled over death, rebirth, and the afterlife. He was the judge through which souls had to pass through in order to step into the afterlife. Isis, the goddess of magic, intuition, and dreams, right? That kind of also a kind of otherworldliness, was Osiris's counterpart and also helped lead souls into the afterlife. Isis actually revives Osiris and brings him back to life after Egyptian god Set, who was the god of war and violence, tricks Osiris basically into committing suicide. And then Ra is the creator god from which all the deities came from. It is said that Ra created the earth, the sky, and the underworld. The Ankh is said to be a symbol of regenerative power and has the ability to revive souls in the afterlife as well as sustain life on earth. Yeah. This symbol is known as the original cross that was later copulated by Christians and took on the understanding that it was a representation of, Christ's love and his ability to bring you into the afterlife as well. Now, the Eye of Ra I also wanted to get into because it is a famous ancient symbol. Now, the Eye of Ra, of course, is symbolic of the god Ra, but it is actually symbolic of his more feminine aspects. It is a representation of the goddesses that came from this all-knowing, all-seeing eye. So this symbol has the power of restorative harmony, of royal power, right? Royalty, the sun is often symbolic of royal power and like divine power, and also is a protective amulet. It is said that it can be used to ward off enemies. Now the Eye of Horus, which is the Eye of Ra flipped, is symbolic of a different deity altogether, Horus. In an ancient Egyptian myth, this eye symbolized, once again, this antagonist Set, big bad Set, freaking challenged Horus to duel with him and plucked out his eye, and then I believe it was Thoth or Hathor was like, this fight is unfair, retrieved Horus's eye, but they could only find 5 pieces because the eye was split into 6, and then the 6th piece was an aspect of the gods. And so this symbol is a symbol of restorative power, right? An amulet of protection to ward against evil, and was also put in the tombs of pharaohs to help protect them as they moved into the afterlife. All right, the next symbol we're going to get into is, I think, one of my favorites. It is the Merkabah. It's a common symbol within spirituality, but not a lot of people understand its depth or what it means. I guess you could see it as kind of like a 3D Star of David. Merkabah is a Jewish word with Egyptian origins. Mer means light, Ka means spirit, and Ba means body. It is said that this symbol is, the symbol through which beings travel interdimensionally, and also exists around our own body. Around the hips, the first half of the Merkabah sits and spins, and from our shoulders down to our feet is where the bottom half of the Merkabah exists around our body and creates our light body. The Merkabah was popularized, you could say, in the book of Ezekiel. The prophet Ezekiel had a vision of angels coming down from heaven in this Merkabah structure, also known as the chariot of God. He saw these angels coming down, spinning in these orbs, right? Terrifying. Also, the angels he described had like multiple faces, similar to Hindu gods that you see depicted, right? These angels had like 4 faces and multiple limbs and came down spinning from the heavens. Crazy. It is also mentioned in the Old Testament a total of 44 times. This symbol can be meditated upon to access higher states of consciousness and to astral travel, you could say. To activate this symbol, you have to be initiated. Teal Swan puts it in a really powerful way. She says it is not a, means to ascension, but a result of ascension. Mini story time. The first time I meditated on this symbol, I was feeling really overwhelmed and anxious. I used to work at a metaphysical bookstore. I was like, I need to just meditate for a second. And then I went in the corner and I started meditating on the Merkabah, and when I stood up, it felt like a shift had happened. I don't really know how to describe it. It was kind of like I was on a cloud, like I was walking in this kind of energetic cloud where my feet felt like they were barely touching the floor, and it was just like this overwhelming sense of peace enveloped me, and all of my anxiety was gone, and I haven't really experienced an anxiety attack since then, or just not to that degree. So, yeah, very intense stuff, very powerful stuff. Speed round! My Uranus is an Aquarius. Spiritual people would be like. The next few symbols are very quick. We're just gonna get to the point. I don't know how long this video is. Maybe I'll do a part 2 because there's so much that I want to touch on. Anyway, next symbol is the Helm of Awe, otherwise known as the Helm of Terror, and is actually said to ward off diseases. Perks of having worked at a metaphysical bookstore, people would come in looking for this symbol because it is said to literally ward off disease. It is a Nordic symbol. It's also said to help protect against abuse of power and ward off enemies, so pretty cool. The next symbol is also a Nordic symbol with roots in ancient Egypt as well, and is the world serpent, or the Ouroboros, or this word. And this is a symbol of the cyclical nature of life, death, birth, and renewal. In Norse mythology, it represents some sort of mythological sea serpent that grew so large that it ended up encircling the entirety of Earth. I don't know. I have no idea. It was also found in King Tut's Tutankhamun is the earliest kind of representation of that symbol, which it was about the unity between Ra and Osiris, life and death. Once again, is showing up here. And then lastly, the spiral, not to be confused with the triple spiral. That's for a later video, okay? The spiral is a Neolithic symbol and also a mathematical phenomena. We see it in Fibonacci's circle. It is a symbol of creation and is a feminine symbol as well, and was often inscribed onto like womb goddess statues, and these statues were used to represent fertility. So yeah, you guys, that is the first part to the hidden secrets of ancient symbols and their meanings. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see part 2. I had so much fun researching this and filming this for you guys, so let me know what you thought. Let me know down below what symbols you want me to do next. I already have a list, so yeah, let me know. And let me know what videos you want to see from me next. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!